8th grade. I hope you are ready for Acts Introduction Part 2. I wasn't exactly for sure how long it would take to give you the first part, so I wanted to break them up into separate videos. So, get excited for the theme and purpose of Acts. Like, why did they write it? What was their main thinking? What theme did they go with? And yeah, just all that fun stuff we need to know about Acts. So, the theme. The Holy Spirit empowers believers to declare the gospel among both Jews and Gentiles. In doing so, they establish the church. The church is the fulfillment of God's promises from the beginning of time. Okay, let's read that again. This is the theme. The Holy Spirit empowers believers to declare the gospel among both Jews and Gentiles, so everyone. In doing so, they establish the church, which group of believers, not like a building. We're talking about a group of believers. They establish the church. The church is the fulfillment of God's promises from the beginning of time. So that's very interesting to think about how even in the very beginning of Genesis, God's promise or the fulfillment of God's promise has always been the church. And his promise is to love us and care for us and be there for us. And a lot of times he does that through other believers. We are called to live in relationship. No, we're called to live in separate pods and be individuals. No, we're called to be there for each other and lift each other up and encourage each other. That has been God's purpose and plan from the very beginning. Okay, now we're going to look at the purpose. What's the purpose of the book of Acts? Okay. Luke's purpose for writing his gospel, the answer is found in your memory verse. Luke 1:3-4. Applies to Acts as well. So, remember how I told you in the other video how Luke and Acts were originally one book? Well, it would make sense that the one book would still have the same purpose. And the purpose is to give an orderly account of the early church after Christ's resurrection. Dedicating the 2-volume work to Theophilus, Luke wanted him to have certainty about what he had been taught. I'll read that again just in case you didn't get it or it was a little confusing. To give an orderly account of the early church after Christ's resurrection. The 2 volumes was dedicated to Theophilus. Luke wanted him to have certainty about what he had been taught. You know how like sometimes if we were taught something we're like, I don't know about that, or we're confused, or we might need things explained. Paul understood that. Or sorry, not Paul. Luke understood that, so he wanted to make sure that Theophilus had all the information he needed in an orderly account in a form that he could easily figure out and didn't have any issues and any problems understanding things. So, I hope that this has been helpful. I hope that this has helped give you a better understanding of what's the purpose of Acts. Why would I need to read Acts? What are the themes in Acts? And in the next video, we will talk about key themes, and then later on, the outline, the setting of Acts, and the setting of Acts. So there is more Acts intro to come, so stay tuned. We'll talk to you next time. Bye. God bless.